Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. This is Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, the Ranting Monkey, and I saw Jack was awake on Twitter a little bit ago, so hopefully he didn't have an old man nap, and he'll be here anytime now. I didn't forget to fill my drink before the show. I just figured we had time to kill while the commercials are running, so I would do it then. And so if you just heard leaking, that's not me peeing, I promise. I'm an old man. My flow isn't that strong. That's a horrible way to start a show, talking about my urine flow. Holy crap. Why do y'all listen to this shit? You guys are awesome. Anyway, hi guys. We're here to talk today. I actually had more, I don't want to say pleasant because it's mostly talking about politics and shit. I had things that didn't irritate me as bad to talk about. And then, like so many other fucking times, I was on Twitter and I came across a post that just pissed me off. It just angered me. Oh, it fucking angered me. And the reason this one angered me so much is because I have the experience with it. It is a professional victim, a chick who calls herself, I'm not making this up, Kelly the Disabled Ginger. And, if she had that title and she was using it to bring awareness to the fact that, hey, just because we're disabled doesn't mean we have to live like we're disabled. We don't have to cower and whine about life all the time. Then I'd have no problem with it. If the first thing I heard, that's not me peeing. Well, Blue-Eyed, that's why I do silly shit before the ads stop, so that that kind of wonderful interaction can happen. But anyway, our friend Kelly, the disabled victim. Oh, whoops. Disabled ginger. Little Freudian slip there. What she does is remind the world how disabled she is and how the whole world is out to get her, and how if in 2024 at least, I don't know if I saw a 2025 post, but if in 2024 you weren't wearing a mask, you were trying to get disabled people killed. That's our friend Kelly, the disabled ginger. And so I went looking to find out what Kelly's disability is. And I really wanted to we haven't talked about my disability in a long time. And every so often I like to explain it to people because people talking to them in DMs and stuff, they have this idea of me that I'm like some shriveled up little old man who has to have people help him get out of bed. I'm not there yet, guys. I'm not there yet. So what happened to me? I don't know the inciting incident. I had hurt my neck many, many years ago, and it's possible when I originally hurt my neck, and I did that just moving steel bars around. When they went to do the surgery, they were debating on whether to fix between C5 and C6 or C6 and C7. Those are the bones in your neck, guys. And they decided on, because of where the pain was, to do between 6 and 7 and leave 5 and 6 alone. And it is possible that just 10 years later, it gave out and it needed done. The other possibility is that I was sitting in traffic and the lady behind me fell asleep at the wheel and bumped me pretty hard. Now, the reason I can't narrow it down is because the way the pain started wasn't constant. I just got this stabbing pain every so often, stabbing pain that felt like somebody was stabbing me from behind straight through to my chest. And I don't know why Jack is here. What? There is Jack. Why is he not? Jack, I sent the link, didn't I? Sorry, Jack. Let me get that taken care of. But anyway, so whatever happened, the end result. Yeah, it says I sent the link, dude. I sent it at 6:08. Go check your DMs, man. Oh, see, y'all trying to make me feel like I did something wrong, and Jack is just watching a video. He'll be here in a minute. Leave me alone. Let me tell my story, damn it. So I get this shooting pain every so often, and it literally took my breath away. Could not breathe when it was happening. But it only happened every once in a while. But it started to pick up, and it was happening more and more. And then finally one morning it wouldn't go away. I'm like, all right, I got to go to the doctor. Go to the doctor, and they do a bunch of testing, and finally tell me it is the disc between C5 and C6 pushing into my spinal cord. Now, this is where you get to see how truly unique I am. Most people who have the problem I had, after they have their surgery, they wake up pain-free. They're perfectly fine, never have another issue. That wasn't me. Instead, I still had lingering pain because the spinal cord itself was bruised. Now, here's where you find out how even more unique I am. Most people who get that bruising from the spinal cord, within 6 months, it's all better, pain-free, no issue. There's a select few of us who that bruising never heals, and that's me. And so every nerve in my lower body is fine, or, I'm getting older, so it's probably getting worse, but everything below my neck is actually usually fine. But the signals going through there, it's like the nerve impulse runs through a burning building and catches on fire and goes and tells my brain, you hurt really bad right now, even though there's nothing actually physically wrong with me. That's my disability. It's just chronic pain. And I can make it worse, sure. I can keep it from getting so bad by just sitting on my ass all the time and doing nothing. But that's not what I choose to do. When Jack's here, he can verify this. We've had so many conversations where I tell him I did something and I'm hurting from it. And he goes, what did we learn? And I say, absolutely fucking nothing. Because I'm not letting life dictate how I live life. It's going to hurt, but it'll be worth it. And then I look at other people that claim disabilities and see how the fuck they live their lives. And it is amazing how many of them that get a name for themselves are professional fucking victims. Life did this to me. You have no idea how very horrible my life is. Excuse me. In the case of our friend Kelly, the disabled ginger, she had endometriosis. That is her fucking disability. Endometriosis. You guys know what that is? I knew a girl who had that, and it looks very painful, horrifically painful. This chick, there were many times, because one of the girls who was a CSM for me had this issue, where she'd just start crying, and I'm like, what is wrong? And she'd let me know it was that issue again. Like, go sit down, go, I got this, go rest. And she eventually had to have her uterus removed. Endometriosis is when the lining of the uterus starts growing, not the period lining stuff, but the actual lining of it. And it grows and it causes pain, and it can cause another condition. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. Guys, I'm also getting a little sick from, it's just sinus stuff, but fucking weather bouncing back and forth. Anyway, it can cause this other condition. I forget the name of it, but it causes that lining to start growing into the muscles, and it causes horrific pain. All right, gotcha. You're in pain. You're in pain. By the way, she's had a hysterectomy. So, yeah, she still has chronic pain from something that's not happening anymore. I don't know how. Professional victim. But that's her disability. And if you don't wear a mask with COVID still out there, you guys, you're trying to kill the chick who had a bad uterus. I don't know how you die from COVID if you have a faulty uterus that was taken out, but apparently it is really a thing now. Shouldn't the pain be gone? Yes, it should absolutely be gone. But she describes chronic pain. She has chronic pain. Never explains why. This is why I just explained to you guys what is actually wrong with me. I'm not trying to hide it. I'm not trying to make it more than it is, less than it is. I'm not trying to be cryptic about it. I'm like, no, I'm crippled, you guys. Think the worst so you'll feel bad for me. Get fucked. I don't want anybody feeling bad for me. Okay. The other day when I was in a bad mood, remember that day I told you I just wanted my mom to hug me and give me soup? That day I wanted people to feel bad for me, but not for being crippled, because I was getting sick. I don't even want people to notice this about me. This is a true story. We went out today and we were doing our weekly grocery shopping. and we decided to stop at Arby's for lunch. And we get up there and we order. And I get my drink cup to go fill it up. And as I'm walking over there, I'm just in so much pain. And I'm just leaning against there's like a counter thing that runs over to where the drink station is. And I'm leaning on it. And the lady at the counter goes, "Oh my God, sir, are you okay?" And my wife, before I could even know, "He's fine." That's how used to it as she is. When people ask that now in public, she's like, "He's fine." Because I am. I'm just in pain. And I'll get to where I even said that to one lady, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "It's just pain." And she went, "But that's pain." I'm like, "It's just life for me. It's fine." If I'd let it define me, if I didn't do anything when I'm in pain, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. My back is killing me right now. I guess what I need to do is go curl up in a ball and whine about fucking COVID. Because that's how you really deal with a disability. Hey, Jack, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm annoyed beyond belief.
I could tell from your ranting there. Sorry, I had to wait on a video to finish rendering because by the time I saw the link, as usual, it was like 7 minutes after you sent it. I was like halfway through a video rendering and I was like, son of a... So I just had to wait it out because I already failed at this one 3 times today. So, sorry.
No, actually, I think it worked out well that way because because the story of how I got to where I am with my crippledness, I'm not a fucking disabled. We'll talk about that in a minute. But
I'm a disabled.
That way, that's out there uninterrupted. And anybody I love how many of these people are, "I'm disabled." Well, what's wrong with you? I can't really say. I don't want to tell people.
I like how you just backhandedly said I interrupt you all the time.
No, you do interrupt me all the time, but most of the time it plays well. There are certain times where it's like, this would be better as just a uninterrupted thing.
Okay.
Like I could have kept you from coming in right now if it was an issue, Jack. I have that power. I can remove you now if I wanted to.
Yeah, I would have used that.
See him trying to play victim. He's been reading Kelly too goddamn long, and he's read one post from her.
Yeah, what a fucking crybaby. Tell her to suck it up.
What really... I've mentioned this many times before because I've only been crippled for about a decade, Jack.
Only?
And I look at things like how they talk about Black people or women or any group they decide needs a helping hand, that they're being oppressed. And I wonder how the people in that group who don't feel that way deal with these constant whiny shitbags.
Dude, I don't know. Because they're in there whining at the doctor's office and in group therapy meetings. They're just attention-seeking shitbags.
I see this and it irritates the fuck out of me. This chick has a uterine problem and again has had a hysterectomy. And she's still out there as Kelly, the disabled ginger. Maybe the disability is the ginger itself. Although I've seen her picture, that's not real red. I'm not saying you're not actually a redhead, but that is clearly a dye job, lady.
They are shapeshifters, dude. When I am expressing something about an ailment or whatever, I'm just complaining.
Yeah.
I think you're kind of along that same lines. You're just kind of like frustrated and you're expressing your frustration. You're not trying to get pity. Because those people, this woman, are fucking annoying.
Most of the time I'm just explaining to people my day. I'm not complaining or even commiserate. It's just, this was how my day is, because it is part of my day.
Yeah. I vent a lot, and that usually is just me complaining about something. But it's not an attempt at getting sympathy. It's just to vent my frustration or explain what's going on. Stuff like that. These people that are professional victims, they're very, very annoying. I really don't know how. Do you like being around these people? Because you talk to them a lot online. But in real life, if you have to go to a doctor's appointment and they're in the office waiting room with you, how do you restrain yourself from saying something?
Luckily, most of the time that I'm in doctor's offices and stuff, there's like maybe one other person there, and they're sitting with their head down.
Oh my God, you are the luckiest man alive.
I live in a very small place.
Oh yeah.
Real quick, let me get this. Matt Barnes, thank you. 19 pikes. I think he means likes. 19 likes and 79 watching by my phone. Come on, party people, hit the thumbs up. Half to Jack, please. Thank you so much. Oh God,
thank you, man.
maybe I shouldn't have done a show today. My throat is going to be a bitch. Okay,
yes, dangerous. I think that would make me the blood.
I actually get very annoyed when people are overly sympathetic. Like when I went to my family reunion thing, it was actually my uncle's anniversary, but the whole family ended up there. Everybody was so overly protective of me. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you made it. Are you okay?" Like, would y'all stop? I'm fine. If I need to sit down, I'll sit down. If I need help with something, I am not shy. I'll ask for help. Let's just be together, you know? We don't need to focus on this stupid shit.
Here's how that came out to them. Oh, fine. Just go on. It's fine. It's fine.
Go on without me. No, it really
I'll
is.
hold them off.
It's annoying to me to get sympathy. Because you know what sympathy is not going to do, Jack? Fix this.
Yeah.
And it's not going to stop me from doing shit I want to do that's going to cause me more pain. So it's not helping any of us. Now, if you actually see me fall down and go, "Are you okay?" That makes sense to me. But if you just see me walking cripple style like I tend to do, that's just how I am. It's fine. But no, Kelly here is like, she actually, so she runs a site called Kelly the Disabled Redhead.
What?
And if you go, oh yeah, and she actually uses it. She writes a whole bunch of articles. And she wrote one where she's talking about how a friend was going to come visit her, but they don't wear a mask. So she said, "Don't come." And then that friend, when they got back from their vacation, was like, "Oh my God, I'm sick. I'm so glad I didn't come see you." She has pain from a uterus that doesn't exist anymore. What the fuck was a cold going to do to her?
Make her fake her haunted uterine cavity swell up. I don't know.
God bless, man.
I have noticed that there is a certain number, not all, of course, of disabled people that are supreme hypochondriacs.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Jack. So we are going to read a little bit of disabledginger.com is actually the name of her site.
Holy shit, that's a lot of blathering.
This is disabledginger.com. What my hysterectomy taught me about misogyny.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So she starts this article explaining to us about her endometriosis and whatever that other thing was. She started having her periods at 13, and it wasn't until 19 that they found out she wasn't just a whiner.
She's still a whiner.
That there was actually a problem. And so she
Oh.
wanted to get a hysterectomy, and they wouldn't let her have one because she might meet a man and want kids. Okay.
You mean like a normal woman?
This isn't the 1960s, and she's not old enough to have been alive in the 1960s. This didn't happen. I'm sorry, that did not happen. You were not going to doctors and being like, "No, I'm promise you, I don't want to have kids." Because she even says she got psych evals that said she understood what was happening, and no doctor would do a hysterectomy. You can doctor shop and get pretty much anything done.
Yeah. Oh, you know what, Monkey?
Dr. House taught us that.
Yeah, right? No, what really happened was they wanted her to wear one of the scarlet robes with the white nun hats because, Trump!
But as I'm reading through this, I get to this part, I'm like, oh yeah, we got to talk about this. So they won't give her the hysterectomy she desperately needs. But one day, this condition led to her almost dying in the ER. And so they're like, we got to do emergency ER surgery to remove the hysterectomy. Or sorry, not to remove the hysterectomy, to remove the uterus. I do a hysterectomy. Well, okay, okay. I don't believe you that happened. First of all, maybe, but the rest of your story is clearly bullshit. Thank you, Corey. My favorite part of my disability is that I can turn off my hearing when I want to. Fair.
You know what? There are a lot of situations that would come in real handy.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, sorry, battery's dead. Can't hear your blathering.
All right. So, thank you, Michael. Wait, you mean a child couldn't get permanent life-altering surgery unless absolutely necessary? We used to be a proper country. Well, at this time, she's 19, so she is an adult. But she tells us that men can have stuff removed without having to think about that. My wife had to sign off on my vasectomy, Jack. And they that's not even removing anything. That's cutting 2 little cords. And she was pregnant with our 3rd child at the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know what fucking weird world she lives in, but men can just go get shit cut off constantly. No, we can't. No,
because that's the wife's. She owns you.
Doctors will hesitate with hysterectomies. They are medically necessary sometimes. And in a case like this, again, I know a girl who had this, and she did eventually have a hysterectomy, Jack.
Yeah,
but
I've known a couple of women that had hysterectomies for various reasons. One of them was endometriosis, or however that's pronounced.
Endometriosis.
Yeah, that.
The reality about endometriosis is most women who have it live with it just fine. They have to take more painkillers than most women during their period, but otherwise they're fine. It's just a painful condition. It's generally not life-threatening. Now, the other condition that she has where it grows into the muscle and stuff, I haven't done so much research on that. So maybe that one gets life-threatening. But my guess would be that they were rather than, hey, you might want to have kids, they were like, hey, this is a surgery. Surgery comes with the possibility of death, and you could just live with this pain. You know what I mean? That would be my guess. But and this is backed up by this following fucking story that she tells. Are you ready for this shit, Jack?
No.
Eventually, the bleeding became so severe that they had to do the surgery as an emergency because I was dying in the ER. Okay. By that point, I had a boyfriend, albeit we had only been together a few months, and he had no legal standing to make decisions for me. As they were wheeling me off for emergency and life-saving surgery, they stopped to ask his permission.
Oh,
no,
that did not happen.
They did not.
Unless he was her power of attorney and she was like incapacitated, that did not happen. No fucking way.
They did not wheel. They were already wheeling you off, and they're like, wait. Make sure this guy she barely knows is okay with it.
Are you okay with us removing her baby maker? If so, please sign here.
Unless you gave them permission, they can't even talk to him about it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're talking serious HIPAA violations.
They asked him if he was okay with me being unable to bear children. If he would leave me if I couldn't procreate for him. The for him is in parentheses.
Oh, my God. I mean, this makes for a good TV episode of some girl chick show. But yeah, this never happened.
We hadn't even said I love you yet, and he was being given a say in whether or not I survived. That did not happen. You are a lying shitbag.
Yeah, not a very good lying shitbag either.
Needless to say, he was enraged, but told them to do what was necessary to save my life and leave him out of it. That's a caring guy.
Yeah, I don't even know this chick. They just met the elevator a minute ago.
What the fuck are you talking to me about this? I don't care what happens to that bitch. Leave me out of it. He understood that it was my body, my choice.
Oh, so he was a beta bitch. God.
For once, that's true. In this case, unless she's lying to us and there was like a baby involved, yeah, for once it's her body, her choice. Yes, finally a feminist used that term correctly.
Yeah, it's by accident though.
If he ended up wanting children, we could have adopted. We could have used a surrogate. There were options. By the way, she made that same argument earlier in the article where she was like, they wanted me to have babies and I told them all this. It's amazing that this guy you barely knew was all up on all of your thoughts on that.
Yeah, well, she probably didn't shut up about it.
Thankfully, I survived surgery. You didn't have to.
It's pretty standard.
You wrote this after the surgery, dummy.
Yeah, I mean it's they don't even have to make a big cut in you anymore for hysterectomies. It's like a little cut, and then they yank everything out with a robot. It's pretty straightforward, simple.
Where are we? I survived the surgery, but in one final display of misogyny and disrespect, I was placed on the maternity ward for the first 2 days of post-operative recovery. I had to be surrounded by new moms and their babies after having my womb ripped out of me.
Well, look, there's different places you recover, and sometimes when it deals with mommy parts, you are put with other people with mommy parts.
Yeah, look, if they put her on the maternity ward, my guess would be that there was a baby involved in this situation.
Yeah, or she's full of shit, or the hospital had like a massive overflow problem, and she just got put there. Like they put me in a ward with people with chest pains one time.
It could be that their maternity ward is also their, wait for it, OB ward.
What? That's crazy, monkey. You're being silly now. Look at you.
Most hospitals have an OBGYN area. It's not just maternity.
Yeah, for the record, that is not referred to as Cooter Central.
Your uterus was removed, so they put you in the area where a lot of people who know about uteruses are done.
Huh. Almost like those people can spot a problem if one comes up.
It's the ultimate disrespect. She says earlier she didn't even care about having kids. So how is this disrespectful to you?
Yeah.
There's a whole number of reasons why they would put you there after the surgery. But no, they just did it because they wanted to rub it in my face. I couldn't have baby. And notice my uterus ripped out. You'd apparently been begging for years for them to whip your uterus out. But now suddenly it's ripped out rather than being removed the way you wanted it to be?
Yeah, she expected like rose petals and gentle caresses.
But this is what I'm talking about with these fucking people. She can't just go, yeah, I had a hysterectomy. The end. She has to make it. They were disrespectful and misogynist, and they asked this guy I barely knew if he was okay with me getting my uterus taken out, which I wanted, but they ripped it out of me. The whole fucking, look at how victim she is. This is why I don't want to be called disabled. I want to be called crippled because I'm not disabled. I still work. Maybe not as well as I used to, Jack.
Well, none of us do.
I'm crippled. What I can do is limited, but I'm not disabled. Disabled makes it sound like you can't do anything. I'm not just disabled. If you have a disabled car, it doesn't run, Jack.
No, but you can still sit in it.
Yeah, your car can be crippled and still run. I've seen it happen.
Oh yeah, I've had many of them. Working on that right now.
I'm crippled, not disabled. Disabled is a mindset of victimhood, and I'm not a victim.
No.
Shit happens and life goes on. And how you deal with it is entirely up to you. And this leads me to what I was going to talk about tonight, Jack.
Oh.
Satsu's video.
Oh, are you going to say because he's black?
Satsu's black?
That's what I've heard.
I wish somebody would have told me.
Well, you see, you tell him. That's what Jarbo told us. You
as a racist,
I would that he's black.
As a racist, I wouldn't hang out with one of my best friends if I knew he was black.
I know, it's weird how that works, isn't it?
Thank you, her doctor, for that feminist $12. I have to correct Jack. While L&D/OB ward may not be called Cooter Central, it is in fact called Coochie Corner. Trust me.
Oh.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for clarifying that. We do like to get things as accurate as possible.
Yeah, I mean, we try. Well, Monkey tries. I kind of half-ass it most of the time.
I don't necessarily try. It depends on whether I think it's funny or not. All right, now this is how good of a friend I am. I'm putting this on the screen because Satsu is very sensitive about how he looks. He's very self-conscious, and
Why?
to help
He's a
that,
handsome man.
I'm going to flash his face to even more people.
He's a handsome dude. I don't know what
He is, and
self-conscious.
I told him that this afternoon when me and him were talking about this. I'm like, you're a good-looking dude. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Stop being so you're not ugly, man. Trust me, I would have told you if you were.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I got no problem telling ugly people they're ugly. I'm not an attractive person. I'm very average. So I got no issue with that. You get used to it. It's part of aging. You accept who you are.
Well, what was funny about this to me is that when we were out shopping today, ran into somebody I used to work with that me and Lady Monkey are friends with, and we were all talking. And like most of my friends, they try to tear me down because they don't like that I have an ego. It's amazing how many people who have low self-esteem issues are like, you suck because you like yourself. Like, that's what I like most about me. But
what I like most about me is how awesome I am.
Yeah. But they were trying to jokingly, call me ugly. I'm like, why are y'all going to stand here and pretend like I'm not pretty? And they both just started laughing. And it's because they know it's a genuine thought of mine. I'm not kidding when I say in school, when they gave us that self-esteem training, I was so bored. I just thought everybody liked themselves as much as I did. That's true. I love myself. And they're like, you should love yourself. I'm like, I do. Why are you wasting my time?
I'm too magnanimous for this class.
It'd be like teaching basic math to a calculus professor. It'd be wasting his fucking time. And yes, I just compared myself to a professor when talking about how much I love me.
Well, I mean, that makes sense to me.
Shocking monkey revelation. Here's the thing, Divine Petulance. There's a lot of people who pretend to have self-esteem like mine. And then eventually something bad comes out about them. And they're like, no, that's just a character I play. I am not playing a character. This is me. I love myself. And if you've ever heard Lady Monkey and me talk on here about this, she will confirm it. I am this conceited.
It's not conceited. It's self-assurance.
Well, I like me, and I don't understand why people don't like themselves. So like I'm like that, and I just have that experience, and it's right after that I watched this with Satsu. Like, yeah, I'm showing my face, and he says he shows his face because he wants people to be able to trust him, because people do, if they see your face for some reason, trust you more. This is how y'all get duped all the time. Like, oh, face, I can trust that. You know how many liars have faces?
All of them.
All of them. All of them.
Sneaky bastards.
Sneaky shitheads. But I get what he's getting at there, and I don't have a problem with that part. But then he goes into how, like, I'm self-conscious. I get being self-conscious about it, but you're a good-looking man. Stop doing that.
Yeah, knock it off, Satsu.
But his video was how I avoided victimhood, and the actual name is How I Escaped the Democratic Narrative. And both are accurate titles. And what he talks about is how, as a black man, growing up, he was told over and over again, hey, you can't do this because you're black. They won't let you do it. You're black. They won't let you. And when he gets out into the real world, that's the mindset that he has. And it was because, hey, for him, anime is a big one, because as a black guy, especially you go back a few years, black guy, anime, like, what kind of weirdo are you? It's much more accepted these days. But his point being that like, hey, you can't like this thing. Hide that about yourself, because people are you're not allowed to be liking that. And then he gets out into the real world and he meets a white guy who likes anime. He's like, I like anime. And like, cool, let's hang out and talk about anime. They weren't like, you're black, you can't like anime. And it's not just that. It's just doing anything as a black man. You're told you can't do it. You can't do it. Well, why not? Well, because the white man's going to hold you down. Well, how do other black people do it? And this is a real thing and it's not just with black people. It's with any group now. You can't. Women, you guys, even though you run the fucking world, the men will keep you down. If you're black, the white man will keep you down. Well, if you're anything other than white, the white man will keep you down. That is such a dangerous fucking mindset. It is such a defeatist attitude. And I've mentioned this before, but I don't know when America lost this spirit. It used to be, they'd be like, you can't do that. And we're like, fuck you, watch me.
Yeah.
And now it's like, you can't do that. And like, shit, I really wanted to.
Well, it's a way to control people. You know, you beat them down emotionally, and they think they're incapable of it, so they're reliant on others, and then they never push back on anything.
Pat says, I was in the same boat. Thank God I was introduced to other races of people as a kid. Yeah, I saw somebody the other day. I forget who it was, but they said, black people think more about what white people think of black people than white people actually think of black people.
Yeah.
I'm being quite honest with you. The only time I think about black people like that is if the subject of race comes up, or I'm making a joke about a race, like white people not being able to dance or season their food correctly, and black people not being able to keep a family unit together. Those are jokes, y'all. Kind of. Oh, thank you, Evolved Potato. You suck that you like yourself. That's what I love about me. What you love most about yourself is that you suck. Weird thing to love, but you do you. I love everything about me. I even love my failures. I know that's a weird thing, but if there's something that I just can't do, like, I guess I just can't do that. That's awesome about me. I'm just saying. But yeah, the overall point of the video here is that the idea that you can't because of your race or whatever is toxic. That kind of thinking, look, I think they go overboard with the you can be anything you want to be thing.
Yeah, that's not realistic.
No, because there are, look, if you can't run a 4-second 40-yard dash, chances are you're not going to be a wide receiver in the NFL. You can still try though. And who knows, maybe you'll pick up, you'll end up being something else. Maybe they'll make you a tight end because you're not as fast. But there is a point where you can't do that. Isn't constructive criticism. It's just beating people down. It's just keeping them on the plantation. Like, you can't do that. You need the old white man to save you and feed you and rape your wife. Nobody's going to rape your wife if you don't stay on the Democratic plantation. Wait, that's probably not one of their talking points.
I don't know. I've seen some crazy shit come out of these people.
100% true, but you know, it's to keep you from achieving what they achieve, because if everybody does it, they are not special anymore. You know, I almost called him Satsu. Pat, it's not because they look alike. They actually don't. It's because my brain does that sometimes. And that made me lose my thought. Now I got to read what he said again. Oh, I remember watching. There's a TEDx out there where it's a black man who's like, I got to this position and I realized that other people of my color need me in this position so that they can see that this can be achieved. And it's important to have representation so that young black men can see that they can do what I did. And I was like, well, what black man inspired you if you're the first? It is pulling the ladder up behind them while pretending you're lowering it for them. And they're like, look, I did this thing that you couldn't do without me. I did it all on my own, but you couldn't do that because I'm special. Thank you, Dangerous. Hope you guys are feeling good as I am now. My team came back from a 14-0 halftime to win 16-14 with a minute to go. Next week they play the grand final. Really hoping that they win it all. What are you watching that has 16-14 scores? I know that ain't soccer.
Is that cricket?
That's a whole season's worth of soccer scores.
Well, he's probably watching rugby.
Maybe it's rugby. Yeah. Okay. Do they even play soccer down there in Australia, or are they too manly for that shit?
That's probably like what the pussies play. Because
Okay.
the real men, Australians are a lot tougher than us, so they play rugby, and for some reason, cricket.
Tansu, thank you so much. I've said this before, but Black people are conditioned to hate themselves, and it's often disguised as pride. Very few of us are willing to admit it. And it is really weird the way that they tell young Black kids, you can't do this, but you can. That's mixed messaging.
Yeah, well, it's that way they can say they did encourage you, but at the same time, they're like, but you really can't.
It's so weird, man.
It's all about control. They need the votes, and they know that if you figure out that you can go out there and do it, and you don't need these other people to help pull you up, then you won't need them. So why would you want to be dependent on a bunch of people that are giving you negative ideas? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it is a self-fulfilling prophecy to say, I can't do that. No matter what it is. Look, sometimes it's not just self-defeating prophecy. Sometimes it's absolutely true. Like, Jack, I cannot run very fast. Not anymore. I used to be able to. But, like, I can't run very fast because of my crippledness.
I have the same problem, except I'm fat.
Yeah. But I could run better than I do right now if I got off my fat ass and trained. But it's just so much easier to say, oh, I can't do that. I can't. And that's the mindset of so many things. You just can't. Yeah. You can't. We see this with, I mean, you're seeing, I'm just going to say it. The commies doing it right now. What is their talking point about housing or getting ahead or having a savings account? You can't. They're holding you back. You can't buy a house. Weird, too. My kids did it.
Yeah. I hear that one all the time. It's always from people that are bad with money and lazy.
Or trying to live in a place that they can't afford. There's other houses outside of the city. Move.
Oh, part of the problem is they expect new houses. They don't want some fixer-upper that'll be a third the price of what a new house would be. No, I need the best. It's that entitlement of I am owed the best. That's why I deserve more money than every other entry-level pleb.
We talked about this like a month or so ago. The average house size back, I think it's the 50s. Maybe it's the 40s. The average house size was 950 square feet. By the 60s, when most of these people are like, my grandpa could do this, or my dad bought his house at cheap prices, the average home size was 1,400 square feet. This is new homes, freshly built. The average now is over 2,000 square feet. Homes have doubled in size in the last 70 years. And people are like, how come I can't get it at the same price my great-grandpa got it? He got his 900 square foot home for half of what I'm expected to pay for twice the size.
Yeah, well, they don't want to
do the math, asshole.
And a lot of the houses that were built in the 50s are post-war houses when soldiers were coming home, and they understood that these were entry-level houses in new developments. So they wanted small houses because these are starter homes for new families of like war brides. You know, you came home, you married your sweetheart, or you brought some hot little Japanese number home. And they're like, all right, we got to get some affordable housing for these returning soldiers.
That was just the norm at the time, though. I mean,
yeah.
In 1950, the idea of a 2,000 square foot home, that was a mansion.
Yeah, that's, practically a castle.
The only time you saw homes that size were like farms.
Yeah, farmhouses because they had like 7 or 8 kids.
Got 20 kids.
Yeah, because those kids got to go work the field.
Thank you, Michael. Someone I know just bought a house in a nice area before he was old enough to rent a moving truck. Housing is expensive, but it's far from unattainable. Yeah, but it's so much easier to tell people you can't. You
Yeah.
can't do this. Why not? My answer to you can is watch me, motherfucker. I'm going to do it just to spite you. I don't even want to do it. I'm just going to do it to spite you.
Well,
Maybe that's the wrong mindset, Jack. Maybe I shouldn't be so spiteful, but I don't like being told no, and I don't understand how it became so acceptable to be told you can't.
Because they've beaten people down. They've lifted their self-esteem to ridiculous levels, but then said you can't achieve these certain things.
Well, we still push the self-esteem thing. So we teach these kids, hey, you can do anything you want to, but they won't let you.
The man won't. Yeah, whoever the enemy of the week is who's your opposition. Usually straight white Christians.
You can be anything you want to be, but they won't let you. Like, get fucked. Get fucked.
You know where that's actually true, though? Communism.
It is true. Yeah. They literally won't let you. But don't worry. It's the savior of late stage capitalism.
Yeah.
The whole idea that we're in late stage capitalism is retarded. We are in early stage communism. That's what's going on right now.
Yeah.
That's where capitalism is failing.
But it's being strangled.
It's not even failing. You just have so many people that are told you can't do this. They won't let you. The same people who are they will use they won't let you all the time. They won't let you. You can't get ahead. You're black. The white man will never accept you. And by the way, if you are friends with him, it's only so he can tell you what to think. You should think what I tell you instead. It's an amazing mindset. And it's destructive. It is gross. And it's counterproductive. If you're a black man or woman listening to me right now and you have kids, you tell your child they can do things, that they can get out there and make something of themselves. They don't have to be a shitbag living at home when they're 30 smoking dope. You can go get a job. Lots of black men have done it before you. Lots of black women have done it before you. Lots of them have succeeded in ways that they were told they couldn't.
Yeah, you could even, I don't know, get a good job, learn some good skills, and move up in life, live in a decent place. You don't have to sit around living in squalor, smoking dope. That's not very fun.
Ben Carson's little autistic ass did not have even a white or Asian role model to do what he did. This is a black man who separated conjoined twins that were conjoined at the head. Nobody had ever done it before. Apparently, it was unattainable because no black person had done it before. But literally nobody had. And that motherfucker went, don't believe me, just watch. Little Uptown Funk for you guys. It's my favorite line of that whole thing because it's me. Like, don't believe me, just watch. You can't look. Maybe you won't be Ben Carson because Ben Carson is an autistic genius when it comes to that shit. But you can be more than nothing. They'll keep you down. Fuck you. Don't let them keep you down. What the fuck? Why are you living up to their stereotype?
Some people are afraid to succeed too because they've been told this their whole lives, and then they get that imposter syndrome, and that's bullshit too. Take advantage of the situation you're in and use it to move up.
I don't understand imposter syndrome either.
Well, that's because you're awesome. So,
I've never thought I don't actually deserve what I have. I'm like, where's the rest of my shit?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, I don't care if I earned this job or not. I'm taking all I can get from it.
Imposter syndrome comes from false bravado. It comes from the false self-esteem. You do need to know your actual limits. You do need to understand, like Jack, I love playing basketball, but I'm a white guy who can't dunk, and my basketball dreams ended pretty early in life. Got the short legs. Yeah.
I understand.
When you jump, when you can only jump as high as most other people with 29-inch inseams, it doesn't matter how tall you are. I had a friend, this is true. My Puerto Rican friend I mentioned before, he's 6'5". He could literally reach up and grab a basketball net, the rim. He didn't have to jump at all. Motherfucker couldn't play basketball worth of shit.
Yeah.
He couldn't even dribble.
I am terrible at basketball. I'm very tall, but if Chun was my coach, he'd say, like in Remo Williams, "You move like a pregnant yak."
Yes. You do have to have some grounding in reality, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about people like one of the examples Satsu gives in his video is a friend of his who was a good artist, but he was black. So he was like, I can't because I'm, nobody's ever going to hire me because I'm black. That's not some shit he came up to. It's not like he had put out resumes or anything or sent out a portfolio. He had just been told, hey, they won't let you do that because you're black. So he's like, I guess I can't do that because I'm black.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
There have been a lot of really good comic book artists that were black. Who cares? There's been some women ones too.
But it's so easy to just tell people they won't let you get ahead.
Because like Homer Simpson said, trying is the first step toward failing.
Mm-hmm.
And some people are just afraid to fail. Real fast though. Thank you, Evolved Potato. On the other hand, a dilapidated tiny house in the middle of nowhere, Australia, now costs more accounting for inflation than a brand new house in the middle of a city 30 years ago, because we actually do have a housing problem. American youth can't complain. Yeah, I don't know why you guys have such a housing problem, because you have a lot of land where nobody lives.
They need to go in and clear out the middle of Australia.
Well, that's where the Yowies live. They can't do that.
So?
The Aborigines are the buffer zone. The Yowies just kill a few of them every now and then.
You pave that whole fucking thing and they'll be gone.
Yeah, but they might have some Mongolian death worms out there. I don't know. I don't know what lives out there. We have like a secret base in the middle of Australia, but other than that, I don't know what else is out there.
We have a problem in the United States when it comes to the house. Like, real estate in Manhattan is ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
But that's because everybody wants to live in Manhattan. It's called supply and demand.
Yeah.
Move out to Podunk, New York. You'll be able to buy a fucking house.
Yeah, there's some
travel into the city. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you can take the train or you can telecommute. There's a lot of jobs that you can do online now.
Yeah, but the whole idea of you can't. It is so destructive. I think self-esteem went too far, because there's people who crashed out because they were bad artists and they're like, my mommy said I draw really good. Sure you did, Skipper, but there's a difference between false compliments, mommy just pumping you up, and realistic goals of, getting a good job and buying a house and settling down with a family in the burbs. That is absolutely attainable to almost everyone.
Yeah.
But like, no, you can't do it. The capitalists are keeping you from owning a house. The white man is keeping you from getting a job. The able bodies are out there getting COVID and killing you. Yeah, the whole thing with Kelly, the disabled redhead, started because I saw a post of hers. There's a tariff that's going to kick in a couple of days, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
where certain pharmaceuticals will have 100% tariff put on them because there's no good reason they're not being made in the United States other than it was cheaper for them to do it overseas by exploiting child labor shit.
Yeah,
Because nothing says medical care like your drugs being made by 5-year-olds working for pennies. I'm exaggerating,
but no, it's also a national security issue. Like, should we let some of our critical medical supplies be made by one of our adversaries?
And in response to the coming tariffs, at least $7 billion has been promised for new manufacturing facilities here in the U.S. One in, I want to say outside of Richmond, and I forget where the other one is.
Mm-hmm.
So the stuff is being moved back over here so that they're like, yeah, it'd be just cheaper to make it there.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah. But she's like, people are going to die if they can't get these pills. People will still be able to get their pills.
Yeah.
They've tried pulling this every time there's any change. And where are all the people who have died from the drug prices? I haven't seen them. I hear stories of them all the time, but I've never actually seen a name attached to one.
It doesn't happen very often. There's a lot of programs to help people.
Yep.
And most of the critical care stuff, they'll write it off a lot of times. Or at least they'll do price controls. Even
when that one shitbag bought the what was it for epinephrine?
Oh yeah, the EpiPen stuff, right?
How many people died of allergic reactions because those got so expensive for a day? Yeah.
Don't know. Probably nobody.
Because even then, if you look at what actually happened, it was just charging people who could afford it that. And he was kind of trying to make a point there, which is funny because he became a pariah of the left, and it was actually kind of a lefty thing he was doing.
Yeah, he was trying to do like a sliding scale, and it blew up in his face.
So I'm just so tired of the cripples that I see online who hide behind their crippleness. We're like, look at they're being so mean to us. You are a whiny bitch. You being a cripple has nothing to do with it. You're just a whiny bitch, and life gave you something that you can now point to anytime something goes wrong in your life and be like, this is why.
It's kind of lazy to make excuses like that because you're not actually improving yourself. Nope. You know, if you're constantly blaming other people for your failings, you're not learning anything from your mistakes. It's important for growth to admit, hey, I made a mistake here. What can I learn from this situation? If you don't learn anything from mistakes or limitations, you're never going to get better or grow as a person. You're going to stagnate and be just a useless lump.
There are things that I miss out on in life from this, Jack, but
sure.
Not only am I constantly around people who don't wear masks, I've had COVID at least once, probably twice, and I didn't die from it, even though I'm crippled.
Holy shit, you're super crippled.
I know they probably should get my DNA and figure out what is so special about me. Or they could do the same thing with every other crippled person who hasn't died despite living in a society that doesn't wear masks.
Maybe every time you fell down the stairs, it knocked the COVID out of you.
That's what it was. To beat COVID, fall down the stairs. COVID really broke a lot of hypochondriacs.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
because it gave them the ultimate, I'm gonna die. Every sniffle that they get now is the COVID coming for them. I mean, COVID is in the room with them right now. It's hovering over their shoulder, standing right next to the Grim Reaper, just waiting for him.
Yeah, it's lurking in that space they missed with their Lysol cans. You know the spot deep in your heart.
It's insane. I'm mostly blind, and I figured out how to post in chat and keep up for the most part. Yeah, there's never been a better time to be a cripple.
Yeah, the technology is amazing now. Can you imagine how boring it'd be to be blind in like the 1800s?
I watched a
God.
cripple the other day give somebody the middle finger with a computer screen with just his
Nice.
thoughts.
That's awesome.
Have you seen that video?
No, but that's pretty awesome.
They hooked it up so there's a hand on the screen that he can manipulate, and one of the things he did was flip off everybody. It was fucking wonderful.
Yeah, it's probably the first thing I'd do too.
And this is a cripple guy. Show it. I don't know. I don't have the video, or I would. This is a guy who's crippled like Hawking was crippled.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, he's fucked up.
Real quick. Thank you, Herr Doctor, for that feminist donation. I don't understand why we allow medical supplies / medicine to be made outside the U.S. when we had glove and surgical mask shortages during COVID due to China refusing to sell them to the U.S. Yeah, they actually used to seize 3M's masks, the N95s.
Yeah.
3M would make them, get them all ready for shipping, and the Chinese government was like, yoink! Those are ours now, thank you. And they didn't reimburse them or anything. So yeah, like I said, it's a national security issue. You should make all that stuff here. Thankfully, one person that did make a lot of surgical masks that did get credit for it was the MyPillow guy, Mike Lindell.
Oh, well, they're not going to give him credit for nothing.
No, they won't. And he converted a bunch of his equipment over to make those things. And I think it was a Busch Beer and a couple other alcohol companies started making hand sanitizer for the government.
Yep.
So yeah, there's that sort of thing should be made here.
And in both of those cases, it wasn't really necessary. They probably tamped down some of the flu that year, but didn't do shit for COVID.
No, but it's
just saying.
It's the principle of the matter that if we needed that stuff, we should be able to make it here.
What else do I want to talk about today? Did you see the modern jousting that those idiots were doing?
Yeah.
Is it just me? Maybe I'm not inbred enough, and by inbred enough I mean English, to understand why this is interesting.
That's because we have the internet, monkey.
These two idiots ride at each other with horses and hit each other with jousting poles, with lances. Don't want to offend anybody. It's called a lance. I don't get it, and I think it's mean to the horses to put fat guys in armor on them.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking a lot of wood shrapnel flying too. I think King Henry VIII got jacked up in a jousting event and fucked him up for life. He had like a limp and some other problems. But yeah, it's actually pretty dangerous. But also, I have television. This is the type of thing that can be animated or done with CGI. You don't need to go out and do this crap. We have real entertainment now. We have literacy, all sorts of things to avoid having to do this kind of dangerous, dumb shit.
The person who posted it said, guys will see this and cheer. And I'm like, about what? There's nothing about this that's appealing. And look, if you guys do enjoy it, I'm not saying that you can't. I don't understand you, but I don't get this. I don't see what's appealing about it in any manner. It looks like two retards on a horse with sticks.
Yeah, I don't really see the sport element here. Like, you guys sword fighting is way more interesting.
I get that there's some skill to it, and there's skill to licking your own butt, to use a phrase somebody said in the chat, but I'm not going to watch it.
True.
I don't understand the appeal of jousting. I never have. It was one of the reasons when what's it called? A Knight's Tale came out, and my wife first wanted to watch it. I'm like, it's a jousting movie. And they made it cool because slow motion and thumping beats. That's the only way they could make it entertaining.
I still hate that movie.
I love that movie. I absolutely love it. Anyway, what was this? Oh, Sky News tweeted out Elon Musk and Prince Andrew named in latest Epstein file release. Did you see that?
Yeah, and Elon should probably sue them over that.
Yeah, Elon pointed out that he said shame on Sky News because, yes, Elon was mentioned in the latest Epstein file release. And he was mentioned because Epstein invited him to the island and he told him, fuck no. And they put him not only in the same sentence with Prince Andrew, but name him first.
Yeah. That's dirty pool, man.
Yeah, this is the article, and it is on X, so context was quickly put on this post. Yeah, but Elon was not named as somebody who went to the island. He was named as one of the few rich, famous people who told Epstein to get fucked.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Elon called him out on it. Yes, he did, and good for him for doing so. You got to laugh at these people who think they can still get away with this shit on X of all places because they tweeted that shit out.
That's just not smart.
He'll never notice. Oh, God, I forgot about this story. This one's just going to piss me off. We were talking about Soros-funded DAs yesterday, Jack.
Yes.
And I'm waiting to make sure ads aren't popping up. There's the ads. Come on. Get off my fucking screen. There we go.
Yeah.
New York City woman who sucker punched pro-life activist won't be prosecuted as Manhattan DA Bragg's office admits botched case.
Uh-huh.
So this young lady right here was punched in the face by a behemoth of a woman and ended up having to get stitches above her eye from the punch.
Jesus.
Yeah. It's all on video.
How'd they botch the case then?
This is the best part. Discovery. They didn't turn over the evidence to the defense team.
What? They did that on purpose.
You think?
Yeah, there's no way you fuck up that bad. If you failed to turn over like a memo or something, okay, I could see that. But failing to turn over everything or anything, you did that on purpose. You were trying to tank the case.
The only evidence
on the right side of history.
The only evidence that needed turned over is the police reports and the video. That's the evidence of the case. But they claim that, no, see, midway through this case, it got switched to a different prosecutor and somebody didn't notice that the discovery part hadn't been done right.
Bullshit. If that were true, somebody at the DA's office needs to be fired for incompetence. And I haven't heard anything about firings.
Yeah, I don't know why they couldn't prosecute it. I mean, you even have a still frame of the woman getting punched in the face.
Yeah, Alvin Bragg is such a piece of shit. I have no doubt that one of the scumbags in his office purposely take this case.
Yeah. There is a private law firm who is helping the lady who got punched sue this lady because it's her only recourse now.
Yeah.
Something tells me there won't be a problem with sharing the evidence in this case.
Probably not.
There is no way that this was an accident. I'm sorry, I won't believe that. Why? It's not like the other prosecutor had left or anything, at least not from what the story said, but they just switched it to a different person.
Yeah, they do that shit all the time, though. That's not unique. It's pretty routine. There's
no way that there was not somebody there going, hey, make sure that gets sent. That is an automatic kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's usually scheduled well in advance, and it's sent to like a calendar thing that most of the office has access to. They could have just checked the calendar and said, all right, this wasn't checked off. We got to do this. This is where we're at in the case. And you can always check with the other lawyers. Verified discovery was handed off. I mean, this is pathetically obvious what's happening here.
Yeah, so this is just some bullshit, and This lady is getting away with assault of a black woman on the streets of New York.
Yeah, but she had the wrong opinions, Monkey.
Because this woman believes that, you can't kill babies. This other lady walks up, punches her in the eye, and suffers no consequence legally.
Yep. Well, we've seen that in Portland how many times now? So, did you see the Portland mayor coming out telling them that they don't need more federal officers there?
I did not, but I'm not shocked by it.
Yeah, he had one of the generals from the National Guard there too to help him out.
Blue Line said, "Isn't that what paralegals are for?" Yeah, but it's still the lawyers like, hey, this got done, right? That's part of their and this isn't a weird thing that's like, oh, this is a procedural thing nobody has to do in most cases, because there's things like that occasionally, Jack.
Yeah, but this is
standard operating procedure.
There's absolutely no reason that should ever be done. Like I said, if there's like a ton of evidence and some memo didn't get included, that's more understandable. Somebody gets a little slap on the hand and that could cause a mistrial or something. But to not turn over anything, that's pretty well unheard of.
Yeah, so this is just more leftist bullshit. This is literally a lefty getting away with violence.
Yep. Again.
But hey, it's both sides. It's both sides.
Right.
Get fucked. This one is kind of interesting. Have you seen how Mississippi, they're calling it the Mississippi Miracle? What's going on down there with education?
No.
It's not just Mississippi. It's Mississippi. I want to say Alabama and Louisiana. I might be wrong on the other two states. But they went from being, Mississippi specifically, went from being 49th in literacy for fourth graders in the whole United States. Out of 50 states, they were 49th.
Yeah, shit. Surprised me if they're ahead of Puerto Rico.
They're in 9th place now.
Wow.
Yeah, and they did it in just a couple of years. You know how they did it?
They went back to the old primer books from like 1930.
They went to phonics, and if you can't read at a third grade level by the end of third grade, they don't pass you on to fourth grade.
Oh, so the way it was done for 150 years?
Yeah. Nobody's talking about how they did it. That's my favorite part, because I went and looked it up. I'm like, what? Because they keep talking about a bill. What's the name of the bill? I don't know. But there was some bill that they passed to get better education, and all they did was, they have some teacher training, a little bit of teacher training, but the big parts were phonics, which is how we used to teach reading to everyone.
Yeah.
And being like, if you can't read, we're not passing you.
As it should be. You're not qualified to move up. That's setting kids up for failure.
Yeah. It's almost like having standards has results.
Weird. I bet the Department of Education tried to sue them over this too.
Tried and true methods seem to work.
That's crazy talk. No. We got to kick the phonics habit.
Do you guys realize how fucking ridiculous it is that hooked on phonics was even a thing?
Yeah.
Because you and I grew up, we were taught with phonics. That's how we were taught. And then somebody went, no, memorizing what that word order looks like is how you do it.
Well, I remember they called it racist because of Ebonics.
Yeah. So we had to get rid of the tried and true thing that worked. And now people are coming back to it and they're like, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. They're calling it the Mississippi Miracle. Phonics and not passing people who fail is a miracle.
It's just how things were done 30 years ago. It's fucking insane. Real fast. Thank you, Dixie Rose 63, for that double feminist donation. I was put on the maternity ward when I had my hysterectomy. Heard the babies crying. I was 29, so it was kind of bad. Ooh, half to Jack. Oh, thank you. I'll send Monkey the other half. Thanks.
And yes, I did see the Hooked on Monkey Phonics reference in there. I love If Your Monkey Arrived Dead is my favorite part of that episode.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, Hooked on Monkey Phonics rocks. That's the homeschooling edition, and the two homeschool kids crack me up. The little girl who can't talk without her hands in front of her.
Yeah.
Oh shit. It's not as bad as it used to be because so many more people are homeschooling, but home used to be weird.
Oh yeah, yeah. But now they have the internet, so they can kind of connect with other people. But before that, oh, they were weird.
Yeah. Anyhow, I just wanted to highlight this because I mean we still have what is that math called they do now where you for some reason make a whole bunch of boxes that make no goddamn sense.
Oh, Common Core.
Common Core, yeah. Like, hey,
it's terrible.
Teaching kids to, add is wrong. What we need to do is teach them to add with boxes. I remember sitting down with my daughter because she had some math homework and she was having trouble with it, and I showed her how to do it. And then she starts drawing these boxes. Like, what are you doing? She goes, we have to do it this way. I'm like, that makes no goddamn sense.
No, it doesn't. It's designed for people that have like a specific mentality. Yeah, it's sort of a borderline autism thing because like engineers can handle that kind of math really easily, but normal people can't. They think differently than normies. Sorry, engineers. Your brain works in a totally different way. That's how you can spatialize stuff the way you do. Other people don't think that way.
I did see Vivek Ramaswamy say something I disagreed with the other day.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, he said he thinks that algebra, because he's talking about increasing standards in education, which I do agree with. But he said that algebra needs to be a pre-high school thing. And in reality, algebra doesn't need to be a thing in public schools. It can be an elective math course for people, but most people, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, that's all you need. Most people will never need algebra, and it's a waste of resources.
There was a time me and my friends were trying to save our housing district from being turned into a golf course, and we went looking for this treasure of this pirate kid, One-Eyed Willie. And we had to solve a FOIL equation before we could move on. I've never used FOIL in real life.
Algebra is so freaking easy for you and me, Moonshock, but not for most people.
I'm terrible at most math, so don't ever ask me to solve a math equation, especially in an emergency. You're in big trouble.
Yeah, algebra is important for some things, but most people will never use it outside of their algebra class. So other than making people really, really sad, it has no fucking application. I can do algebra pretty easily. And you know how many times I've used algebra in a setting that needed it? Never. Yeah. I used to keep myself entertained with it doing equations in my head while I was running a machine, but never had to do any algebraic equations to run that machine. I pushed a button and it turned on and I caught what came out.
Oh.
The guy who designed the machine probably needed it. I didn't. Matt, thank you. So like Miracle, we'll stop feeding them Cocoa Puffs and letting them run in circles and do some actual schooling. Got it. Yes. Well, that's another thing. The presidential physical fitness thing is coming back. I hated presidential physical fitness, by the way, Jack.
Yeah, I did too.
But
mostly because I was a fat kid.
I wasn't a fat kid. I just didn't like being told to run for no fucking reason. Let us go play a sport. I loved running during sports. But like, you run from here to there. Like, no. However, I do think that making kids get active again during their schooling period is a good idea. Rather than like, go hang out and talk to each other and try not to fight. No, actually have these little bastards move. It's amazing how less fat they will be.
I think it'd be fun to have people chase them with cattle prods as incentives.
That'd work.
Yeah, it could be a low shock voltage, but get them going, get that blood flow up. That the blood pressure is an important thing in life.
If you know basic area and volume formulas, you're just about all set. You don't even really need that in most of life. Maybe you said something else, but most people will never need to know basic area or volume.
Yeah, unless I'm trying to solve the puzzles from Die Hard 3, I don't think it's really gonna come up in my life too much.
And these days, like let's say, like a time you'd need basic area, you're recarpeting your house. Well, you can have the people come in and tell you what the area is, or you can go to the internet and they'll tell you multiply length times width.
I could just pay the installer to do it.
Yeah, you absolutely could. Or I mean, there's apps on your phone these days that can do shit like that. Even when we were kids, though, most of us would never need that.
Yeah,
you don't need it.
I mean, it's handy to know how to do. I'm not doubting that at all.
Sure.
Especially if you're going to be, working with chemicals or liquids in general, then it would be handy. Or, you're going to be doing any kind of roofing or construction stuff. Yeah, that would absolutely be useful. But the average person, just not going to come up.
Nope. So once you get past the four basics, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, most people don't need the math. And it's not like, look, there's a lot of history we learned in school that I don't think needs to be learned in school, where there's much more important things that should be taught. But you can tune that shit out and just, remember it for the test and you're fine. Math actually is cumulative. You need to know this to do that, to do that, to do that. And if you fail in that first one and they still are pushing you on, you're just screwed. Yeah. You're just setting kids up for failure.
Reading is kind of the same way, because you have the basic building blocks, and most people don't read anymore, but you still need to know how to read.
Yeah, see, that's another thing. I always hated the books they made us read. There were only two books in school that I read that I actually enjoyed. One was Animal Farm, and the other was a book called The Last Babylon. And
yeah.
They were fine, but they were interesting books. All of the other shit bored the fuck out of me.
Yeah, they have some really boring stuff in schools.
The Scarlet Letter, boring.
Yeah, but that comes from an era of like the Gothic horror period where everything sucked. It was boring. They never let you read like Razor's Edge, which is very down to earth way of writing. They made you read literature, bunny ears.
Mm-hmm.
And that is some of the most boring shit on the planet. You ever want to go to sleep, read Atlas Shrugged or Anna Karenina, because it is so verbose and up its own ass, you're going to fall asleep. It's boring, 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 boring.
Thank you, Comrade Kitty. Judging by Facebook, people don't even know PEMDAS algebra seems a bit advanced now. Algebra has always been a bit advanced, and most people, again, even that's the PEMDAS. It's the order that you're supposed to do arithmetic. Even most people don't even need to know how to do that. The only time it comes up is when somebody puts a problem on the internet and they're like, "What's the answer to this?" And everybody argues over what the right answer is. That shit never happens to them. Like, they don't go into their job at Starbucks and they're like, "All right, before you begin today, I need you to do this problem with parentheses in it." And
if you want to pick up your paycheck, you got to solve the riddle of the Sphinx.
Nobody has to do that shit, and nobody's ever had to do that shit. Anyway, Hemingway bored me to Hemingway is boring as fuck.
Hemingway is one of the most overrated drunks in all of literature.
With Hemingway, though, wait, I gotta defend my boy Hemingway just a little bit. Compared to what came before him, he was groundbreaking at the time. That's all. That's the only use
Uh,
I will give him. I still find his writing boring as shit. But go back and read shit that came before that.
I think it really depends on what you're reading, because a lot of his stuff is very of its time as far as style
Exactly.
goes. He's not as groundbreaking because he's up his own ass a lot too. I think it really depends on. He's just one of those guys that caught on because he had a lot of personality. He was sort of a Hunter S. Thompson esque, safer, just a drunk.
Yep.
But he's one of those guys that somehow caught the zeitgeist of the era and was considered groundbreaking. He's not that riveting. Somerset Maugham was way more groundbreaking, especially because he was like, that dude was a whore.
I think, look, you should teach kids to read, and if you want to make sure they're still reading well, then hey, here's a list of books that you can go read that are in this level. The problem
Yeah.
is the folks who get to do that are English majors who are all up their own ass.
Oh yeah, they're a bunch of pretentious dickbags. Trust me,
Yeah.
I had a lot of classes with them since I was one, and I've never met more pretentious, arrogant people outside of like modern leftists.
And in fairness, it's not just them. I mean, as a theater kid myself, Jack, the theater crowd is just as bad.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah, but there are fewer of them.
and theirs is like, well, no, that play is vile and vulgar. You need to watch this boring shit over here. And yeah, I think it's just a problem with academia. The people who do this shit are like, no, this is the most important thing. You don't understand because you're a layman. Fuck you. I know what's entertaining. I don't need you to tell me. And all of it, I would rather read a play because there's no descriptive. I mean, you might get a little bit of a description of the set for where important pieces go for a play, but the rest of it is all dialogue.
Yeah.
I do not need to know the pattern of the chair that nobody's sitting in.
You don't know that.
I absolutely do.
Nah. Might be
And I know that because I skip that shit all the time if I'm reading and I hit a really verbose part, and the book is always still fine. The end is still the same.
Yeah, I do like more concise writing. Not quite on board with reading plays because that bores the shit out of me. But yeah, I understand your point.
I like dialogue that moves action. Now, a bad play, yeah, I can't read that shit. But one where it's actually all done through dialogue, I love that shit. The academics who get to decide what is and isn't important is what matters is that your kid can read. That's what matters.
Yeah. One thing I hated was we read Shakespeare, and I was like, "Can't we watch this? This is meant to be seen." Oh no, we're not allowed to show that.
Shakespeare, I love Shakespeare, but it has to be seen because it's boring as shit to read, especially if you don't understand the dialect.
Yeah. And a lot of times when they show the plays, they're not speaking the proper dialect. They're speaking modern UK English, which is not the dialect that was used. It had more of a Scottish flair. There's a guy that does Shakespeare, he used to anyway, on YouTube, and he would do it the way it was originally presented. And it's fascinating because certain words like "our" rhyme with "whore" when pronounced in the proper dialect, and that was the joke he was going for. So when you're reading it now, you don't get the reference or that he's making a rhyming joke. It loses a lot. And yeah, it's a little harder to understand because you're talking to basically like Count Dankula, but it does make the witty parts actually funny.
I don't mind modern interpretations of it. Like The Lion King is a great retelling of Hamlet, but they are entirely different stories.
Yeah.
In the emotional impact of them.
Well, even like the Mel Gibson one, I do like that version.
I love that version.
But it's not entirely accurate with the original story. You know, if you want to watch Othello, watch the Lawrence Fishburne one. If you want to watch Henry V, you watch the Kenneth Branagh one. That's probably the closest one you're going to see. But it really comes down to, like, it needs to be presented, and reading it is way more boring. Some of the sonnets and stuff are fine to be read, but reading the plays, you're missing quite a lot of important context and cues.
Thoughts on Leo and Claire Danes, Romeo and Juliet? Blasphemy.
Yeah, I hated it.
Anytime
I don't mind the modern version. I just thought the dialogue didn't match. Like, update the dialogue if you're going to do
yeah,
that.
exactly. If you're trying to keep the same dialogue that's going on, because they took Romeo and Juliet and just moved into the modern world and kept all of the dialogue, it doesn't work.
No, it's too conflicting. You're taking an anachronistic way of talking and trying to wedge it into modern day.
Yeah.
It comes off as stupid. And the way things are described, they're talking about swords a lot, and they're holding up guns. What the fuck are you doing? It made no sense. I think Claire Danes is actually a really underrated actor in quite a lot of cases. But that movie, I think, hurt her career. Leonardo DiCaprio, he eventually grew into the size of his head, so his career obviously didn't suffer too much. But it was a terrible rendition.
No, yeah. If you're going to update, you have to update everything.
Yeah.
That's why if you were like somebody like, I've never seen Shakespeare, what should I watch? Go watch Mel Gibson's Hamlet. Who's the other guy who did it? Fuck, because it's hard to find the Mel Gibson version anymore.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name? I can see his fucking face.
He does all the
old Shakespeare ones.
Yeah, Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah, him. Weird looking dude, by the way.
Well, he's British, so
I know. What is British people? You have pretty people over there. Why keep hitting ugly people and shit?
Because that dude's really good at his craft.
I don't care. He's ugly.
Yeah, his
ugly people belong on the stage where they can't do worldwide harm.
His Shakespeare materials are some of the best out there.
He's absolutely amazing at it, and they can't take that away from him.
No, and if you want to watch like the Christmas Carol, watch the Patrick Stewart one or Scrooged.
The old who's the guy who played Patton? George C. Scott.
Yeah, George C. Scott's version was really good.
That one scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Yeah, that one is creepy.
Because that's a Christmas Carol is a horror tale.
Oh yeah, absolutely. A lot of people don't know that back in the early 1900s, Christmas was a time where you told ghost stories.
Yeah.
So it was traditional to have a horror story for Christmas that was often Christmas themed. So that's not unusual for its era. It's just one that survived because although Dickens got paid by the fucking word, it's one of his best works. Oh,
America put good-looking people who can't act on screen. Britain's put ugly people who can act. We have good-looking people who can act. How dare you?
Not a lot of them, but yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Thank you, Evolve Potato. We, of course, know the best interpretation of Shakespeare's work is the amazing, groundbreaking Romeo and Juliet. I have not watched that one, but I tend to suspect you may be incorrect. Tromeo and Juliet had some interesting ideas, like the giant penis monster and the lady giving birth to popcorn.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, Trauma Company put it out. The guys that did Toxic Avenger. Yeah, it's a thing.
I'm being told Michael Fassbender what's his name? Fassbender?
Yeah.
He did a version of Macbeth.
Oh.
That's a British looking dude, and I won't watch him. I didn't like him in the X-Men movies.
I'm okay with him.
He just looks funny to me. He's not quite foot-faced like Benjamin Cumbersnatch.
Oh yeah.
He's weird looking. somebody brought up the DuckTales version. I do like the cartoon versions of back in the era of DuckTales and Rescue Rangers and that kind of stuff. They'd occasionally do like a Shakespeare thing, and I always did like those.
Yeah, the DuckTales Christmas story was really good.
Yeah, that was before DuckTales though, wasn't it? Wasn't that just Scrooge McDuck in A Christmas Carol?
I don't know, but I do know that the Muppets Christmas Carol was good.
Yeah, for me though, Scrooged or George C. Scott. I've never seen Patrick Stewart's version, so I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, it's good. I like that one quite a bit. But the George C. Scott one is definitely, I would say, probably slightly better than Patrick Stewart. But Patrick Stewart used to do a one-man show of A Christmas Carol, and it was
yeah,
I saw that. It was pretty good.
I like the animated Robin Hood. Me too. It's one of my favorite Disney movies, but it bears very little resemblance to the story of Robin Hood. Still better than Robin Hood that they did in Canada, because that was just shit.
Well, that's a low bar.
Yeah, true, fair. Did I have anything else? I think I'm actually going to wrap up here, Jack. I was out and about yesterday, so I am in a lot of pain, and got a late start today because I actually slept last night.
Wow, what's that all about?
I don't know. I was asleep by 8, and I didn't wake up till after 4. I was like, holy shit, time to get up and get on with my day.
I guess so.
I got to do laundry today. This is my laundry day.
Oh, yeah, I should probably do that, too.
I'm wearing my granny panties right now. You know what I don't understand about that whole thing? Ladies, you're out there. Y'all put on your nasty underwear for when you do your laundry. Why do you have nasty underwear? Why don't all your underwear be nice?
That's their bleeding times one.
I guess. But I've never understood that idea of it's laundry day, so they got to wear their ugly underwear. Like, you still bought the ugly underwear at some point. You didn't have to do that. Just saying.
Didn't have to, but here we are.
I just imagined it like when they were little, their mom was like, hey, you need ugly underwear for when you do laundry.
Because you got to make that less sexy in case you get stuck in the dryer.
Yes, exactly. No, I understand the idea of period underwear because, look, let's be honest. A lot of women's underwear, especially these days, it's basically a pasty for your crotch.
Ugh.
It is. There's like no material to it. And so at that time of the month, you want something secure. I get that. But you're not, unless you're only doing laundry once a month, the other 3 weeks when you're doing laundry, you should still have nice looking underwear for. You don't have to put on your period underwear for that. You could buy an extra pair of underwear is all I'm saying.
Yeah, but then they have to go to Victoria's Secret and find a cute pair. And it seems like such a hassle.
Can I also say this? I love this about being a man. I have never had to look at my underwear and go, oh, those aren't cute enough.
Yeah, I'm not really trying to impress anyone with my underwear.
That's
never come up.
I've never once been like, I'm going to put on these sexy underwear to turn on my wife. I'm like, I'm taking off my underwear to turn on my wife, to turn off my wife. Whoops. I've never been like, what'll make me sexier is to hide my junk in a pretty package.
Seems kind of weird.
Ladies, I get why y'all do it because there's some guys who like that shit, but I guess if I see a Victoria's Secret, I'm like, oh yeah, that looks hot. But honestly, it'd be hotter if she was naked.
No, that's where the good bits are.
Yeah.
But sometimes you gotta unwrap everything, right?
You ever been with a woman wearing something like that? And by the time you get all the buttons undone and shit, you're just like, let's just go watch TV.
This is becoming work.
I just wanted to dump a load.
Well, it's bad enough you're gonna have to do most of the work during sex anyway.
That's such a wonderful phrase. I just wanted to dump a load.
It's very romantic.
It is. It is. It's my go-to signature line there. You know, when I'm like, "What's your pickup line?" That's my pickup line. I just need to dump a load.
Hi, want to let me dump a load?
Women love it, fellas.
That's very, very sexy.
All right, guys, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. I can't believe y'all listen to this shit. It started out with me talking about not peeing, and now it's dumping loads. Loads of laundry if there's any children around, because I have to do laundry today. I have to do a load of laundry.
Yes.
Don't let your kids listen to this. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for the donations. You guys are so very kind. We really do. The ultimate pickup line. See, Keister knows. Keister knows. Jack, anything you want to show?
I just dropped a bunch of links. I had 2 videos come out today, so one just went live a second ago. Thank you so much for the tips. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all the support you give us, and thanks for coming out.
Comrade Kitty says, grade A content. I feel like you're being, you're lying to me a little bit there.
There might be a hint of sarcasm in there.
Yeah. Little facetiousness going on.
Yeah, maybe a bit. And then she'll be like, no.
Oh, I got to tell you this story before we leave. So we were in a store today, and I don't remember which store it was. Doesn't matter. And I'm walking along, and I saw something, and it genuinely made me happy.
Oh.
I immediately yelled out, bruh, and grabbed the box.
Oh.
And my reaction was so genuine that my wife just started laughing. The product in question, Hidden Valley Ranch Cheez-Its.
That sounds disgusting.
That sounds wonderful. I bought 4 boxes. I was so happy when I saw those.
So what you're telling me is they only had 4 boxes.
No, they actually had 7, and I didn't want to be, I in case anybody else is like me and would be excited by that. I didn't want to ruin their day. But yeah, I said bruh out loud, really loud. I didn't even I like bruh. And yeah, I was so happy. I still haven't tried them yet. I have not opened those boxes because it was late in the day when we got home, and I want to be able to enjoy it all day. That's how much thought I put into Hidden Valley Ranch Cheez-Its.
Dude, that sounds like it's just salt.
This is why when why are you so angry? I'm literally a really happy person. It does not take much to make me giddy. Just throw Hidden Valley Ranch in something and I'm good. I never did get to try the Hidden Valley Ranch ice cream. I could never find it.
Oh, that sounds gross too.
I was worried about it because ice cream is something that I'm very particular about. Like, I'm not a big fan of put fruit in that. Like, why are you going to ruin my ice cream? It shouldn't be fruit flavored. It's kind of like toothpaste. Toothpaste should be mint. And they make the kids ones that are flavored. Yeah. Like grape flavored toothpaste. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Ugh.
Just certain things. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we love you. Jack, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
Take care of yourselves. We love you. I already said that, but it's part of the closing, so I have to say it again. I get to make up the closing. I guess I don't have to say it again. Fuck it. We don't love you. Well, yes, we did.
Don't lie to them.
We like you as friends.
We love you in that hetero life mate way.
We want to dump a load. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Why do you guys listen to this shit?